Hey everyone.
Hey everybody.
Welcome back to episode 7.
Yeah.
7 of the Rad Tattoo Academy Tattoo Tutorials. Today is our first part 2. So a couple videos ago, we shared Pearson getting his hourglass. And today, we're going the second session on it. For those who haven't tuned in before, the whole purpose of what we're doing here is to provide a perspective of tattooing from me. I've been doing this for like 26 plus years. And this dude who is an apprentice and been tattooing 3 months?
3 months. This
3
week.
months. So 3 months this week. He lives across the state. And to supplement his learning, we're making these videos to help him, to help me, to help you. If you're an apprentice or a young tattooer or even a super seasoned veteran, perspective is always a beautiful thing. I offer a very unique perspective on a lot of things. I teach differently than a lot of people do, and I tattoo kind of weird considering, compared to some people. So, yeah, today we're going into Pearson's Hourglass. So, oh yeah, and this is Jeremy Jones.
What's up, man?
Apprentice at large. Soon to be multi-billionaire tattoo man.
You just wait about 3 weeks from now.
That's it, man. He's coming. He's going for the top in 3 weeks.
So he's going to talk about all the quarter of a century worth of knowledge he has during this tattoo. And me as a newbie, I'm going to be asking him all the questions you guys might be thinking if you're getting into it. And just kind of picking his brain and, recording it while we do it. So here we go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So we come in with the finished product right up quick, just to give you, an idea of what we're working towards here. I don't really plan things. I try to plan things and it doesn't work out. So I just kind of jump on things. This was where we started at from the first session. So as you can see, there's a reference next to me. It looks nothing like the tattoo. I'm using that completely for shading reference. I like the way it looked. I like how it was black heavy, but also white heavy. It just gave a strong feel. I like the fact that it was dark, because now it's going to hold over time. And so the dark foreground gives me an ability to really toy with light gray backgrounds. If you know my style, I am not super much black and gray guy, but I do enjoy doing it. Little known fact, black and gray was my first love.
And then you were like, you just evolved.
Color.
When I started, side note, when I got into tattooing, I love black work stuff. I don't even know if I told you this. I want to only do color now.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's so funny because
I'm like, dude, color's so much more fun. So it's just funny.
I remember when you were like, yeah, man, I love this black shit, and you're like real metal looking. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
No, I'm just like, I just fucking love color. Color with everything.
The blends are so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I want to do both, but yeah, it's just funny how you evolve.
And that's the thing, like, I like doing both as well. This is a lot of fun for me. It's actually, I hated this tattoo, to be quite honest. I was terrified most of the way through it. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I felt I was overanalyzing the tattoo I did prior on his stepdad, who's a very good friend of mine, who owns the gym I work out at, who is a business partner of mine in a real estate company. And like, I was like, oh man, I'm judging this tattoo too hard. So I came into this tattoo with that same fearful energy, and it was somewhere about 98.65% of the way through, I felt like I rescued it.
That happens.
And that's one of the things about doing black and gray. In order to make a proper balance, you got to go some darks. You got to go some lights. You got to go some breathing room, some skin tone. I'm usually the worst at that, to be quite honest. I don't really allow my tattoos to breathe because in my color, I do wall to wall, and my breathing room is the white highlights and the light tones and things. So like going into this like leaving skin open thing scares the shit out of me. And so I'm coming in with a 90% dark gray. It's like fucking it's Starbright. It's the Moon series, so it's Dark Moon, Half Moon,
Then Light Moon.
There's 4 of them. Light moon's the lightest. I don't know. Anyway, there's 4 steps to this gray wash.
So it's like a
pre-dispersed mix.
Pre-mixed gray wash.
Yeah, and so like I wanted that nice dark black looking look, but I also wanted it to fade out and soften up a little bit. That's why I went with that darkest dark moon. And if you look up Starbright Colors, I'm sponsored by them. They're awesome. And you know what? I love them, and the reason why I'm sponsored is because they were the first inks I used. And
Really?
My dad started me on them.
Been around a while.
Yeah. And Tommy Starbright, I think, is different than the original Starbright. I'm sponsored by Tommy Starbright. I don't know if the original Starbright still exists. I think it's the same formulas. Either way, great fucking inks. I love Starbright inks. They're yellow, you can't beat it. They're white, you can't fucking beat it. And that's just the way it was. Even when I was with Fusion for a while, I was like, I really want to use those colors. But when I'm sponsored by a company, I like to ride for them all the way. And I appreciate what they do for me. So Starbright Colors, I stick with them. You know I only have them.
Which is what I basically just do what he does. So.
Yeah, that's the way.
And I really like him.
That's the way I like to teach people. I use Axis Rotary. I use Critical or Jetpack battery packs.
I use $25 battery pack on Amazon.
I mean, really, the battery pack doesn't matter. They're all going to give the same power.
The only difference, mainly to your Critical, is it's a digital display, and you can, to the decimal, go to the power that you want.
And 10 turn capacity, yeah. So from like 1 to 1.9. So I love, I love that. I don't like the balance as much. I like the Jetpacks better because they hang off the back. I think the ones you have are the same design.
It's like an L shape. So here's your machine, and the battery hangs off like this.
And it's got a better counterweight for me. The Critical battery is a little top heavy for me.
That battery just sits on top of the machine. Yeah. And we're talking about a rotary machine. Yeah,
we're talking about an Axis Valhalla. I love the Axis Valhalla. I went to an event where I didn't bring my machine because I didn't think I was going to be tattooing. Yeah, so this is where I really started thinking I was fucking it up, because I'm like doing all this dark, and I'm like, what's wrong? So like I'm panicking a lot through this tattoo, and I want to share that stuff with you people. So that way, like, if you're a youngster and you're like, oh man, I panic too, or even if you've been doing it as long as I have or longer, and you're like, I panic too. And it's not for everything, right? Not every tattoo I do, I panic on. Yeah. But sometimes I just get a fucking sense of panic, and that kicks me in my ass to make sure I don't fuck up, because I don't want to feel sorry for myself or like, you know, be disappointed in myself.
I said today I'm most nervous on, like, I do the best on shit I'm most nervous about.
Right, and it always happens like that. What I'm doing now is with a 3-liner.
Got some nice curls there.
Yeah, thank you. A little 3-liner, but I'm using the light moon.
To line.
Yeah, because I want it to be a line, but I don't want it to be stark black. I want it to have that softer feeling. Because when I later go back into the letters are all gray lined right now, and I went back in with black, and I did black in all the letters. So that way I had these stark black letters with this softer banner behind it, and just kind of playing like almost with like the masculine and feminine type sense, you know, like strong fucking darks, and then these soft, flowy, you know, like nice whimsical background things.
And a couple videos ago, I believe episode 2 or 3, we actually, you can see him on an iPad design this whole thing, and it's the first session of this tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely. And would
you say this is the final session?
Yes.
So this is a 2-part tattoo.
Yeah, and it's not a huge tattoo. I could have gotten it done in one session. I like doing black and gray in multiple. I like doing everything in multiple sessions. I mean, we talk about this every time. Layers. I love layers. Layers are fun. They take a lot of the stress off of you. And you can build on your layers better. You can get them creamier and softer blends without the trauma a lot of the time. So you can allow it to heal, give it time to relax and bounce back, and then, you know, blend back in. So I really love blending back into tattoos. It gives it a softer, creamier feel. I love that shit. So the background, so the gray that I use, the gray mixtures that I used for this, I used black, and then I used the like darkest dark moon. Then I used light moon, and then I do 3 drops of light moon with the rest white, water.
Still water.
Yeah, and so the background is strictly the 3 drops of light moon with the water in it and light moon. And then the rest of the tattoo is majority black and dark moon. So then I kind of, played like that. With the glass, I did light moon, but that light moon is pretty fucking dark. So that's why I play with the grays the way I do. I usually only do black, light moon, and then that 3 drops and light moon. But this one, I wanted to have that darker, like I said, that softer yet dark gray. I used a 27 mag as almost every tattoo uses.
He uses larger mags than most people.
Yeah. So that's a 27 there. And my needles, they range everywhere from Quadra needles to Helios needles to Dragon Fire that I get from China direct for like a really, really good price. And I buy them in bulk. So sometimes those, you'll get a shitty needle. Throw that motherfucker away and get back to it. So like...
It's how you use the needle.
Yeah. And I am sponsored by, like I said, Axis and Starbright and Saniderm and Hustle Butter, and I love these products, and I'm sponsored by them because I love them. But at the end of the day, as long as you're using products that work, tattoos go in. If you use a shitty ink that's not going to hold up over time, doesn't mean you can't make a good tattoo today. So the products that I use are time tested, but like these needles, man, cartridges are brand new anyway. They've only been around 5-10 years. So like,
I say it's similar to like, I'm a guitar player and I can make a $100 guitar sound like a $10,000 guitar. And it's the fucking person using it. That's a lot of it.
Absolutely. And for me, what I find out is what you're most comfortable with is what you use most often. So you can get comfortable with anything. My dad, he's the one who taught me how to tattoo. R.I.P. Pops. I know you don't like when I call you that, sorry. But he taught me and my brother how to tattoo. And one of the things that I remember when I was like, Dad, I need a better chair because this chair is kind of weird. I want more like a table thing, because it was an old barber chair that you could lean the back down, but you couldn't bring the legs up.
Ooh, yeah. So when they're laying down, the legs are down.
Yeah, and then like when I did like feet and ankles and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is before I wore an apron, back when I was dirty as fuck. Because
put them on your leg?
Bro, foot on the leg. And you would put a fucking lap cloth over that. And dude, my pants were always covered in fucking ink. Oh, yeah. Dude, I was such a dirtbag back in the day.
Don't be a dirtbag.
Don't be a dirtbag. One day,
you didn't use like an armrest. You put their leg on.
Dude, no, on my
fucking.
Just
like fuck it, dude.
So that's the story, right?
Your back's hurting.
So I tell my dad, I'm like, dude, I need a better table or something. And he's like, use what you got. Imagine how good you'll be when you got a good one.
I think about that a lot.
And like that's dude, I have to check myself to not deprive myself.
I'm learning things through his dad that I've never met.
Dude, who you'll never meet, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's weird, and that was one of the things, even though me and my brother don't always get along, it was really cool when he was, in the hospital, end of days stuff, being like, Dad, like, you gotta remember, dude, every person I teach, every person Jason teaches, we're both, every person we tattoo, you're living through still. So it's really cool, like, to have that lineage, and like to, kind of honor my dad in some weird, kind of, traditional way, right?
It's cool, man.
But it is cool, man, and like, it's cool hearing you say, like, oh yeah, I'm learning things through.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's rad. So like, that's cool. So like, the lineage after you teach, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'll tell someone the same shit in the future.
It's so cool. Yeah, that was rad, man. Okay. Yeah. So that's the cool thing about tattoo lineage. Who you taught. Who taught you got taught by someone. Got taught by someone. Got taught by someone.
Which is crazy. I never thought about that.
Right. So now I don't know where my lineage really goes deep into, except for a guy named Wizard. My parents owned a nail salon, and one of the girls that worked there doing nails, the boyfriend's name was Wizard. He tattooed my dad one night. My dad's actual name was Osvaldo when he came here from Cuba, but he changed it to Robert. So he went by Oz as the tattooer because he got taught by Wizard. And the way he got taught by Wizard was he got a tattoo on his fucking chest, I think, was his first one. It was either his chest or his arm. So now the tiger I just got on my back was the tiger that my dad had on his arm.
Cool.
Like based off that loosely.
Right, yeah.
So this dude taught my dad how to tattoo inadvertently because he gave my dad a tattoo one night. And my dad picked up on shit quick. He was always an artist. And like he was always doing freelance weird shit. And so he fell into tattoos that way. Built himself a little room in my mom's nail salon. Stopped doing hair and nails and started tattooing full time. And then started piercing shortly thereafter and like built up this weird little thing in South Florida. And Florida's my home, has been. And Mr. Happy was the name of his first shop. And that was the lineage. That was the shops that he kept open was Mr. Happy's. So yeah. So a little backstory on where I came from, what's that?
We don't always talk about strictly tattoos. It's a lot of different.
Yeah.
It's not exactly. Here's exactly what's happening right now. There's a lot of other theoretical shit.
Yeah. It's fun to talk about it.
Yeah, dude.
And so now, glad you brought it back to it. Now I'm going through with that 3-liner, and I'm just blacking in the letters, tracing the lines over. For some reason, I love having a gray line under anything. Because once I have that gray line, I feel so confident.
With the black?
Yeah, just to like, even if I'm doing like colored line over it, just for some reason, that little bit of gray just...
The gray is really easy to cover up.
Right, and like, it's like Sharpie, but it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So, you have this nice solid line and it's so thin and perfect and you just kind of follow it. And like, I feel like I cause less trauma too, because I'm just like riding the needle a little bit lighter. And this stuff, like I said, I'm using a 3. So I like a nice tight 3 to do some lining and stuff. And as I'm doing this,
great for fucking
a lot of things.
A lot of stuff.
And I'm shading in the black because it's got black and then white highlights throughout the letters, just to give some dimension to it. Because the banner is staying very plain. So I'm kind of like trying to church up the letters. I almost did a drop shadow on the letters. I mean, on the banner, under the letters. I felt like it might be too busy because the letters felt a little small. Right. So I didn't end up doing that. And you're going to go through that. There's going to be times where you ask yourself, should I do this? Should I do that? Stick to what you know. Isn't that what I always tell you?
Yeah.
Do what you know right now. Like yesterday, that tattoo, you're like, I need you here. I'm like, how about this? Just start with what you know you can do. Yeah. And when I get there, I'll help you with it. And like by the time I got there, you were already in the groove. A couple little questions and you were set.
Yeah, once you get the hardest part, like it's like if you don't work out for a couple weeks, the hardest part is just getting going. And then once you're going, like it just talks to you.
Yeah, as we always say.
It's the same. There's only a few fucking main principles that, and you can figure this shit out.
And like, I'm glad that you're saying that without me prompting you, because like, that was the whole point of this. Like, keep it simple, stupid.
Simplicity,
like,
man.
Always simplicity.
Which
always,
is like something it's drilled into my head, and I like it's second nature now.
Yeah.
Just try to keep shit simple.
Yeah.
Even today, bro, like you weren't even fucking there. Like, I went and I accidentally went to grab my machine with my ungloved hand. And I was like, no, you fucking idiot. Why the fuck are you doing that, you piece? And I was like, sorry, guys. I like to talk to myself how Robbie talks to me sometimes. Just so I don't do it again.
And it's funny sitting under the rad moving banner, like thinking of how, because like I'm aggressive, right? I'm abrasive, so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking moron? You know better than that. Yeah. He knows it's out of love, but dude, you told me the most fucked up shit about myself, which kind of made me happy, but like also sad. You're like. You're like my father-in-law. I'm never good enough for you.
Yeah. Because like my fucking father-in-law, I'd be like, I made $1,000 a day. He'd be like, you need $2,000 a day to live. Whatever it is, it's never fucking good enough. And that's what he fucking does to me. Like I'll do like a tattoo. I'm like, man, this is the best shit I've ever done. He's like, it's trash. You need to be better.
Let me explain to you how.
Let me show you everything.
You see this? This is this.
You're gonna cry later.
It's never my intention.
But I'm on any antidepressants.
I did. That was before me, all right, bro.
I'm just kidding.
I have an abrasive, aggressive way of teaching. We were watching All American. I was telling you about this, like, and how like I was like, man, I want to be a college football coach. Those guys, man, they give it to them. So like, my teaching style from like. I'm soft as fuck.
Well, if you just blow me the whole time, I'm not gonna fucking learn anything. And
I'm soft as fuck compared to my dad. So like softened up is still way hard because he was so hard. But like, I do agree with that, man. Like, I want to fucking praise you, but like, imagine the first time you really fucking knock my socks off, which you've done a number of times. Like, yeah. But like when you really,
I remember those, you know?
Right, and you do, and then like when you really give it to me, and I'm like, fuck yeah, like that's the type of shit. Like now that's really real, and we can be celebrating that, you know. And like I like to give you not criticism, but like instruction while you're working.
Yeah, it's critique because you're not.
So that way you can fix it right there while you're working.
You're not gonna like fucking. What is it? Trees get stronger by the wind, like the breeze. Like so, the more if you grow a plant indoors and there's like no fucking breeze, it's not going to be strong. It's just going to fall the fuck over when it gets too. But if it has adversity and like just shit, it goes through. It strengthens that. That's a good
Yeah, and I mean completely similar to that. Like that, and as like I said, as I sit under the Rad Movement banner. One of the things that comes to my brain too is like the Rad Movement isn't about being perfect. It isn't about like motivation all the time.
There's never an end game to this shit.
Right. Like, dude, I literally woke up fucking crying a lot this morning because I was so overwhelmed with all the thoughts in my head. And like, it's so weird because like when I got to work and like made it through my like grumpy phase, man, life was so much better. You know, and it's so weird. Like, so if you go to work and you're like stressed out about your tattoos or your schedule or life or, you know, all the myriad of things that can fly around in your head like they do to me, especially in the morning. The morning's my hardest time. If you fucking have a hard time, that's okay, man. Just remember, once you get to work, you're gonna be better. Once you start doing that art, man, there's something fucking therapeutic about creating art. You
just get lost in the fucking. I call tattooings like being in a time machine.
It really is.
I'm like, fuck, it's 8 p.m.
Dude, I used to say that with the homies. I remember the first time I really realized that I was doing one of the tattoos, and you know the tattoos of your career where you're like, fuck, this is my new fucking ball.
Yeah, I have that every week.
Dude, so like, I did this on a dude, and it was back in my strictly freehand days. So like, it was a freehand mixtape with wings and clouds and like fucking. And I was really heavily influenced by a lot of graffiti cats at the time. So it had a really like accentuated feel. Yeah. And man, when we were doing this tattoo, we would go out back to fucking burn some trees. And like we took like 2-3 breaks over like a 4-hour tattoo. And like, I just remember being there and being like, man, we just fucking time traveled. Every time we'd go to take a break, we'd like both come up for a breath of air, like, out of this bubble of like imagination and adventure that we were going through. It was really weird. But like, dude, when I got my back done, that was 6 hours and it went by like that, dude. Like, and I do giant sessions all the time and they fly by. But the cool thing is, whether you're the tattooer or the client in a great situation, that shit just good. So yeah, man.
So if you want a longer life, just be unhappy. It'll feel longer.
It'll feel longer. There you go. That's true. And like, that's like getting into flow state.
Flow state. That's what it is, man. When you're just in the groove.
Yeah, like, and like, you know, when you just can't be bothered, and you can see. I see you're looking at it. You can see how the banner's starting to really like.
Yeah, the banner's pop
out because of the stuff in the background. And this is back what we were talking about: positive and negative and positive stuff. If you go to the Reinventing the Tattoo book, he goes through a lot of positive, negative, positive. But if you want to actually check it out, go to reinventingthetattoo.com for 2 reasons. Because there's lots of tattoo information there. And Mondays at 5 p.m., it's your boy right here does a show called Let's Talk About Feelings, where you can come into a Zoom chat room with me and my guest or guests, and we can talk about feelings together. And it's really cool. So, yeah, feelings are cool, and we're allowed to have them. And as tattooers, it's kind of like no crying in baseball, but that's bullshit. I cry all the time. I am not a tough guy. I try to stay tough, and then I start crying and then realize that I'm better off being soft and vulnerable. So that is really a way to tattoo, like nurture that vulnerability, the masculine and the feminine, balance yourself, your life, your everything. So now I'm going in with actual black, because I want these lines to be a little bit more accentuated. Oh no, wait, I'm back to shading again. I thought I was doing some little line work. When I go to line the glass of the hourglass, it's all in black.
What are your tips for tattooing glass?
I
thought about that today.
Contrast.
Okay.
Contrast is important. Eyeballs and glasses, basically I shade the same.
Okay.
Everything's got...
That speaks to me.
Right. And everything's got that, that little shape, the little crescent or the dots.
Reflections.
The light reflections.
Yeah.
So make sure you contrast your light reflections enough. So like around that banner where I'm working, I'm bringing light moon out to the really light moon wash. But in the middle on the back, I'm using the really light moon wash because I'm just trying to keep them nice and separate. And sometimes I'll put darker things in the back. Sometimes I'll put lighter things in the back. It just depends on the feel that I'm going for. And that's all intuitive stuff. I don't really plan a lot of that stuff. I just try to kind of work with my light sourcing and figure out what makes sense. What's supposed to go.
Now you're fucking with the sand that's in the hourglass.
Yeah, so the sand. So what I did, I did some really checkmarky stuff with a mag last time, kind of the way Amanda Graves does her glitter. Very similar, just kind of arbitrary patterns. Check her out; she's really rad. She's also a Starbright team.
Just in and out like that.
Just like
quick,
like literally this hand motion.
Okay.
And like you can do some dotty stuff. So what I did now is I did that same hand motion with some darker tones. And I like I think I went with the dark moon on that because I wanted it to be darker than the shading. So like the contrast has to work. You have to do dark things, but you have to make sure the dark things don't override each other. And you can see I'm building a lot of the reflections here, and I relied heavily on white in this one because then if it does need another session, when I'm working on something else on him, we'll go in for 20-30 minutes of white highlights and go back into the whites on his tattoo. Because he's kind of an olive skin dude. His skin is similar to my complexion, where like whites tend to yellow on us. So after the whites I did on the first session, a lot of these whites are second session whites. So not all of them are because I didn't have the whites planned from the first session. But I rely heavily on the whites in the glass on this one. Because I go and I outline like everything on the outer portion of the glass, and then I white line. I shade in white on the reflections. But yeah, I love putting in the white on this one because, as you can see in my reference, like there's just a heavy high contrast. I love high contrast stuff. It just really brightens my day. There's a guy named Silvano Fiato. This dude does amazing high contrast portraits. Just really, 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 really darks, and then like breathable skin tones and just beautiful shit. So if you want to check him out, that'll give you some ideas of some really phenomenal top-notch high contrast black and gray. So right now I'm just going through the whole thing. So when I went through the hourglass like structure, like the plate on the top and the bars on the sides, I shaded those and the reflections with a mag. And then on, like how I said I went around the outside of all the glass, I did that with a liner, but that was with a bug pin 14. So bug pins, if it's a standard 14, take 2 off of it. That's the size it is. So bug it's like a standard 12.
Skinnier needles.
Skinnier needle, longer taper. They get their name because they are the pins that hold bugs when they pin them against boards. Bug pins. And it's a number 10. Your standard is number 12. Bug pins are number 10.
So the 2 numbers in the beginning will be 10 whatever or 12 whatever.
Right. And so also bug pins can be 8s or 6s. And those are just...
They're less common.
Way less common, more common in permanent makeup.
Because you get
really
eyelids and shit.
Yeah. So like I like to use bug pin 3s because it gives me like basically the size of a 1 but 3 needles. He loves those too a lot. He loves those. And so I'm going through with my 3 liner and just kind of giving some sand texture there. And because I have so many smooth and reflective textures, I like having the sand textures in there because it just kind of changes it up a little bit. And as you can see, like the difference in that that banner at the top there, the back of the banner, how it's falling back, and the banner the background is, you know, building your banners. And I think right now I'm going through with a liner, tightening up any whites that I did with the mag, and I was just going ahead and just strengthening any whites. Right now I'm going through the little final gray that I saw I needed to just smooth out there.
Finishing touches.
Yeah, and I think this is when I realized, oh shoot, I'm gonna put white in the letters, because I was like, I already did white last time in the letters, but I loved the way the whites turned out in the hourglass itself. I decided, all right, I want to do that, and he kind of laughed at me when I said that, you know, because I was like done, and I was like, oh no, wait, I gotta come back, and you know,
as I'm touching, I'm like, all right, we're done.
And 20 more minutes, you know.
You could sit there and fuck with it endlessly, so you gotta, at some point, you gotta be like, okay, it's done.
Yeah, and calling it done is hard.
Yeah, it's fucking hard.
But and remember, if you don't call it done at some point, you're probably gonna overwork the skin.
Yeah.
So be careful. Even if you don't tattoo heavy, you can overwork the skin at some point. Hitting the paper with a pencil long enough, you're gonna fucking make a hole in it. So yeah, it looks like I'm rounding out to the end of this, and we're really good at over talking the end. So let's try not to do that this time.
No, you're good. I put a bunch of shit at the end, so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
This shit's over when we fucking say it's over.
Yeah, damn it. Jeremy's all caffeined up at 12:30 a.m. now.
Yeah, that was a fucking bad decision.
So like the cool thing is like having an apprentice that is such a good friend, but so down to learn. Dude, we do cool things like this together. So here's the finished product. As you can see, smooth transitions. You know, some light lines, some strong lines, some not as strong lines, some nice close-ups there. But you can see like how the fucking, you know, the glass has the white reflections.
The sand's dope.
The sand. And one of my favorite parts is how you can see the letters through the glass, but I like
you made
fuzzy them out. Yeah. Not
cool.
letters. Letters.
Yeah, letters.
Damn, man.
Jesus.
It's just late for
so
me.
That reflection on the glass, is that primarily white? That was no
That's
negative
all
space.
white.
That was all white.
That's all white.
Okay.
And honestly, I could have left that negative space, but I'm a junkie for white, man. I just love doing it.
White is really fun.
It's a really fun accent. And, you know, if for all the haters out there that say white doesn't hold, you can always go back into things, man. And like I said, I'm gonna tattoo this dude for years. I mean, he's, you know, one of my closest friends' fucking kid. So, you know, like, you know, he's gonna be here a lot in my life. So, you know, I get to go back into these things. That's why I love tattooing people that I'm around all the time, as much as, see, the cool thing is I don't see Pearson all the time.
This was his first tattoo.
This
also.
was his first tattoo.
He's got such a cool first tattoo.
Yeah, he really does, man. I had a lot of fun with it. And like I say,
I don't know what the fuck it says, but it's pretty cool.
In the first video, I don't like to steal tattoos, but like I do. I'll take a tattoo and I'll like, you know, take the bare bones, some pieces of it, and then I'll take this other image and do some pieces. So you'll see how I assembled this. I drew some of the pieces, I think. So like,
and again, that's a couple videos back.
Yeah, but I mean,
episode 2 or 3.
It's obvious what it is. You know, if you go back through. But yeah. So don't beat yourself up if you don't get it perfect the first time. And if you have great clients that are riding for you, then you get to do multiple sessions. Sometimes you don't get to do multiple sessions. Always do your best no matter what.
And would you tell me the tattoo shop always provides?
It always does.
Right? So like the right clients will come and stick around.
Yeah, absolutely. The people that aren't meant to be there aren't going to be there forever. And you're going to have people that come and then they stop getting a giant piece and then you never get to finish it. I've had people die during giant pieces. Like, I've had all kinds of shit. Well, maybe. No, but like I've had wacky shit happen, you know? So like, you never know how much time you're gonna have. You never know what the tattoo shop is gonna bring. It always provides, but it also provides fucking chaos. And one of the things you learn in that chaos is how you deal with it.
It's so fucking fun though.
It really is. It's a journey that is only for the ones that it's for. And for the ones that it's not for, no worries. But it takes a lot of strength of mind to make it through a tattoo apprenticeship. and to just be a tattooer.
And my tip for anyone that is an apprentice right now that's listening, just get rid of fucking everything else besides your family. That's not important in your fucking life. Like if you like have your hobbies, whatever, but just fucking focus on this.
Yeah.
Like I literally had a business I was running and I shut that down because I was like, this is more important. And you know what? Now I'm making like what I was making with my business, and I'm only at the shop 3 days a week.
And he's fucking charging cheap apprentice prices.
Yeah, I'm still very, very reasonable 3 months in, you know.
Yeah.
So don't think, oh, I'm not making any money during my apprenticeship. Fuck money, dude. The money's gonna come.
Money is gonna come.
It always comes.
And one of the things that I learned from taking Tattoo Business Mastery course, dude, you charge what you're worth, and what your time is worth is what it is. Like at some point in time, we said it today, you're going to be at $1,000 a day. You know, like you're already at $400 a day. You know, and like you're just doing $50. You're just doing free tattoos a couple months ago.
Fucking 3 months ago, I was doing free tattoos. Now, if you want to book me for the day, it's $400.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
And I mean, I can't see it in 6 months you not being at least $1,000 a day. You know what I'm saying?
It's literally all I do, man. And I'm not like fucking super special, dude. I barely drew before I fucking started, you know.
But now the dude's tattooing his own drawings on people.
Now, and I'm charging several $100s, you know, for someone. And people are coming to me that I don't know. I tattooed a girl yesterday who was like, I've never gotten tattooed by an apprentice. I never wanted to, but I saw your stuff on Instagram and I came and want to get tattooed by you.
And
which is really cool.
That's super fucking cool. And that's gonna keep happening.
She's like, I would never let a tattoo apprentice like touch me, but she's like, I really like your stuff.
And dude, you're tattooing your designs on people that you drew,
which is really cool.
I never taught you how to draw. I just made you trace 10,000 things.
Yeah, I did. He had me trace 10,000 images, like flash images. It took me 6 months.
I like how you reframed that because I said made. That's real dicky. I made you trace.
Well, you did.
But like that was it. That's part of the curriculum.
But now I'm pulling in clean lines.
Dude, crispy as fuck.
You know.
And sometimes I see him waver, but for the most part, and like this dude, he had crispy lines from the start. Like he never really went through a shitty line phase. So like, that's your worst. You sometimes get.
Like I can stay on the line, but initially it was me finding my depth, and stretching the fucking skin enough. Stretch the fucking skin a lot. It needs to feel like you're tattooing a snare drum, dude, if possible. That's a big one.
Super tight stretching.
Big one.
And that's one of the things we're gonna go over some techniques in more short clips.
Very soon.
Very soon. We're gonna do like how to stretch, how to pull a line, how to do some shading, how to blend colors, how to blend black and gray, like all kinds of different things.
Yeah. Keep your eye out for those. And they'll be these are long format videos. Those will be shorter format.
Yeah. So
easily digestible.
We don't really know what we're doing, but we're having fun doing it.
Yeah. See, we're getting better. We got video. Look at this fucking video, man. We're in the corner of the screen right now.
Man, it's so cool.
It's crazy.
And like that's the cool thing. The tattoo shop not only provides financial safety, but like it provides stories and friendships and memories and experience. God, the experiences you get from working in a tattoo shop.
Yeah, I already got some, man. I've only been in there for a few months.
Yeah, dude, we've had a number, and before you got there was a death threat called in, and dude,
I had to call cops on the client.
Yeah, dude, there's all kinds of shit. So it happens, right? Tattoo shop's a wacky place. It's a cool place. It's a great place.
Coolest career ever, though, in my opinion. For me,
it works. Yeah.
For people like us who are just fucking weird.
And you know what? I feel like my studio is the land of misfit toys, and that's cool. So just remember, you are with your people when you're here in this tattoo world. Not everyone's for you, but you are here with your people. And remember that. Always remember that. And go back to that, because the tattoo world has always provided. When I broke my leg off, the tattoo world came together and raised over $40,000 in fucking donations for me to live for like a year. And that supplemented my working that I could do, traveling around between staying in hospitals and stuff. So like, it's crazy.
And if you want to see him break his leg off, you can find that on YouTube as well.
Oh, it's on this channel right here.
It's on this channel.
It was actually.
I filmed it. I was the guy filming it. When he broke his leg off.
Full circle.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Tattooing brought us to tattooing. So, yeah, man, you weren't looking to tattoo or anything at that point.
No, I was just getting them. I had a body jewelry business.
Yep.
Just fucking had a show.
Yeah. So trust.
That works, man.
Trust the universe.
And I'm fucking 33, man, and I'm just getting in the game, bro. So.
And he's crushing it. You know what I'm saying?
Just fucking keep on. I'm still kind of young. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. Young and handsome.
Get off
All
my
right.
lawn.
Well.
All right, you sons of bitches.
Thank you guys so much. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe, give us feedback, give us comments, tell us what you'd like to see more of, tell us what you'd like to see less of, so on and so forth. We're here for you guys. So,
Yeah,
much love. Thank you very much. Tune in next time, and we love you, and have a great fucking day, or night, or whatever it is. Sayonara.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.